Well, Adani Properties landed a big win in 2022 in Mumbai when it secured the contract for redevelopment of Dharavi. That was a important project that they had been hoping for, had been betting for. Now, as of today, however, that same project, that same contract is under the scrutiny of the highest court of the country, under the scrutiny of the apex court. So why is that? What are the concerns raised and what does the road ahead look like for Dharavi, for its redevelopment? We'll try to answer these questions one by one. But to do that, we'll have to turn the clock back to 2018. That is when there was a competitive bidding process. This we're calling it the round one of the bidding process, where bids were invited from various stakeholders. Adani Properties had put in a bid of about 4,500 crore rupees. However, they were outbid. They were outmatched by Seychelles-based Seclink Technologies, which had put in a substantially higher bid of 7,200 crore rupees. However, this round one of the tender process was scrapped entirely. And not just that, there was a revision in the tender conditions and we saw round two of the bidding take place in 2022. Now, such was the revision as far as these conditions are concerned that it led to the complete ouster of Seclink Technologies. Adani Properties was, of course, there. They upped their bid from 4,500 crore rupees to 5,000 crore rupees and subsequently emerged as the H1 bidder, as the leading bidder, and then got awarded the contract. This entire process, however, has been challenged by Seclink Technologies. They first moved the Bombay High Court. They lost their dispute there. They lost their battle there. And now they've moved the highest court of the country, the Supreme Court. And we've seen some strong language. Seclink Technologies is calling this a scandal. Seclink Technologies, their counsels argued that this will shock the conscience. The way this entire process has gone about will shock the conscience of the court. They're saying that there are extraneous factors leading to the tweaking of those conditions for achieving two objectives. Number one, the ouster of Seclink Technologies, and number two, award of that contract specifically for Adani Properties. These are really strong questions being raised here by Seclink Technologies. They in fact went on to argue that this appears to be a unique case where the Maharashtra government is seeming keen, is betting on a candidate bringing them less money on the table. And speaking on the subject of money, Seclink Technologies went a step further and said that not only were they the highest bidder by putting in a bid of 7,200 crore rupees, as of today, before the highest court of the country, they've undertaken to increase their bid by even 20% further, taking their bid to 8,640 crore rupees as against Adani's bid of 5,000 crore rupees. Now, what's interesting is that both the councils for Adani as well as the councils for the state of Maharashtra were on the same page today. The Maharashtra councils as well as the Adani Properties Council, they argued that their bid, 5,000 crore rupees, should not be looked upon in isolation, that there is also additional obligations that they have agreed to undertake. So whether that's 1,000 crore rupees of amount that has to be paid upfront to the railways for use of their land, that is also something Adani has agreed to. They also clarified that there is an indemnity worth 2,800 crore rupees that needs to be put forth. This again is something that Adani has agreed to, that there are other conditions as well. However, the Council for Seclink Technologies clarified that they were willing to meet all of these conditions and despite that put in that higher bid of 8,640 crore rupees. Now this, to the mind of the apex court, is something that requires further deliberation. So with that in mind, the Supreme Court has said that this is an issue that they will go into. They've issued a notice to Adani as well as to the Maharashtra government seeking their response as to why there was a round one, why it was scrapped, what were the need of changing these conditions altogether, and then why round two, and number five, and perhaps most importantly, why settle for Adani when they're bringing in lesser money. These are questions that have now been posed to Adani Properties as well as to the Maharashtra government. What becomes interesting is that what happens in the interim period while the Supreme Court is deciding the matter. Now, Seclink Technologies were quite clear. They wanted interim protection in the form of a stay of this entire redevelopment project. That is something that the Supreme Court has refused, given as how the redevelopment process has already begun. However, the via media, the interim protection that the Supreme Court has given is that all payments that will be made by Adani Properties for this entire redevelopment projects will be paid from one single escrow account to ensure that there are detailed invoices for all these individual payments. And that is, of course, with the view that tomorrow, if the Supreme Court were to decide against them, were to rule against them, and were to unwind all of these investments that Adani Properties have made, then there would be a ready and willing answer in terms of those escrow payment details as to what the payment and the investments have been. So clearly, the Supreme Court keeping a keen eye, asking for more clarity from Adani, from the Maharashtra government, and this hearing, importantly, will resume in the month of May.